Picture this, the world's best-selling EV, the Tesla Model Y Performance, already a titan in the electric car arena, now returns with a 2026 refresh that Tesla claims is smarter, sharper, and more refined than ever. But let's be honest, the old Model Y, for all its dominance, wasn't flawless. Owners loved the speed and range, but many complained about cabin noise at highway speeds, a ride that leaned towards stiff, and an interior that, while functional, didn't always feel like it belonged in a premium price bracket. And now, the Juniper update seems to tackle those very issues head-on. Coincidence? Or is Tesla finally showing it's willing to listen to the feedback from the millions of drivers who made the Model Y a global hit? Because make no mistake, Tesla doesn't do change for change's sake. When they rework a winning formula, it's calculated. This isn't just a few shiny tweaks, it's an upgrade that could signal a shift in how Tesla approaches refinement, comfort, and real-world usability. So today, we're going to peel back every layer, compare it to the outgoing model, stack it against its fiercest rivals, and find out if the 2026 Model Y Performance is truly a revolution in disguise or just the same playbook with a fresh coat of paint. And by the end, you might just see that Tesla's listening ears are sharper than you think. The truth is, the 2026 Tesla Model Y Performance isn't a radical reinvention. It's a calculated evolution, the kind of upgrade that proves Tesla knows exactly where to push and where to hold back. Side by side with the outgoing model, the differences are subtle at first glance, but undeniable once you start looking. The Juniper refresh ditches the slightly awkward rounded nose in favor of a cleaner, more aggressive face. Up front, split headlights frame a Cybertruck-inspired light bar that runs the full width, a design move that feels sharper, more purposeful, and more premium. The front and rear bumpers now carry more angular lines, and a full-width rear light bar ties the design together, giving the car a broader, more planted stance. Even the body itself is slightly longer, a change you'd only notice parked next to the old model, but it adds to the sleekness. Step inside and the changes are even more tangible. The cabin now feels more premium, with richer soft-touch materials replacing some of the harder plastics, a detail that Model Y owners have been asking for since day one. Ambient lighting now runs across the dashboard and door panels, creating a warmer, more upscale atmosphere at night. Ventilated front seats finally make an appearance, joined by a rear seat touchscreen that brings climate and entertainment control to passengers in the back, a feature once reserved for the latest Model 3. Acoustic glass now wraps the cabin, and it works. Independent tests show cabin noise at highway speeds has dropped from 68 decibels to just 66 decibels. That might not sound like much on paper, but in practice it makes the Model Y feel calmer and more composed, especially on long drives. And it's not just quieter, it's tighter. Tesla has reinforced structural rigidity, improving body control, and reducing the occasional floatiness over rougher pavement. It still drives like a Tesla, responsive, immediate, and confident, but the polish here makes it feel less like a sporty crossover fighting its own weight and more like a genuinely refined performance EV. This is not a redesign to grab headlines. It's a strategic upgrade that addresses the biggest criticisms of the previous model while doubling down on the strengths that made it a bestseller in the first place. The 2026 Tesla Model Y's performance jump isn't something you have to dig into the spec sheet to notice. It's the kind of difference you feel the moment you hit the accelerator. Car and Driver measured the updated long-range AWD going from 0 to 60 in just 3.9 seconds, and running the quarter mile in 12.3, about half a second quicker than the old model. Motor Trend tested a setup similar to the upcoming performance trim and saw an even faster 3.8 seconds to 60 and a 12.2 second quarter mile. Those are serious numbers for a family-friendly electric SUV, putting it in the same league as high-performance crossovers that cost a lot more. What's impressive is that Tesla didn't pull this off with a radical new motor or battery. The gains come from smarter chassis tuning,
better structural rigidity and improved traction control. The result is a car that feels more stable, more responsive, and more composed, whether you're launching hard, taking on tight corners, or cruising at speed. The old Model Y was already quick. This one feels like it's been sharpened and taught some new tricks, turning speed into something more refined and usable. And if the long-range version is already this good, it's hard not to wonder just how wild the new performance variant will be when it lands. This update shows Tesla isn't just giving the Model Y a new look, they're giving it a new edge. When you line up the refreshed 2026 Model Y against the 2025 Ioniq 5, it's clear Tesla isn't just defending its turf, it's doubling down on what it does best. Edmunds calls it a near-dead heat, but the strengths fall into very different corners. The Ioniq 5 earns points for its intuitive physical controls, a cabin layout that feels instantly familiar, and lightning-fast charging speeds that make road trips a breeze. It's the kind of EV you can hop into and feel at home right away. But the Model Y counters with range that still leaves the Ioniq 5 chasing, 327 miles versus 282, and a cargo space advantage that makes it a far more versatile family hauler. Add in Tesla's supercharger network and seamless software integration, and you've got an ecosystem that's still unmatched in its convenience and reach. Here's the reality. If your priority is pure range, deep tech integration, and a car that feels like it's part of a constantly evolving platform, the Model Y still wears the crown. But if you're drawn to tactile controls, slightly lower pricing, and a less learning-intensive ownership experience, the Ioniq 5 stands as one of the most credible threats Tesla has faced yet. This rivalry isn't just about two EVs, it's about two different philosophies for the electric future. The buzz around a 2026 Model Y performance is building fast, and with good reason. Tesla has a history of taking an already capable base model and turning it into something that blurs the line between family crossover and track day toy. If they follow that formula here, we're talking about sharper motor tuning, upgraded brakes, firmer sport seats, and steering recalibrated for instant response. Numbers in the low 3-second range for 0 to 60 don't just feel possible, they feel almost inevitable, given the chassis improvements we've already seen in the refreshed long range. But the bigger story might be what comes after. Tesla's next-gen platform is waiting in the wings, bringing structural battery packs, 48-volt architecture, and massive gigacast body sections. It's a toolkit that could make future Model Ys lighter, stiffer, and even more efficient while cutting production costs. That same technology could also underpin an all-new lower-cost model aimed squarely at mass-market domination, the long-rumored Model 2. So yes, the 2026 performance might turn heads on its own, but it could also be the stepping stone to an entirely new phase in Tesla's strategy. If history is any guide, they won't just be chasing speed, they'll be rewriting the playbook for what an electric crossover can be.
Looking ahead, the Juniper refresh feels less like the finish line and more like Tesla quietly setting the stage for what's next. A full-blooded performance variant seems almost certain before year's end, bringing more precise handling, greater power delivery, and the kind of acceleration that will make even sports car owners take notice. But that's just the short game. Over the next 2 to 3 years, the real transformation could come with Tesla's next-generation platform, a leap that promises a lighter, stronger chassis, improved efficiency, and faster charging speeds, all while potentially bringing the starting price under the $40,000 mark. That combination could make the Model Y not just the world's best-selling EV, but the default choice for anyone buying a crossover, period. And if Tesla decides to double down on autonomy, explore even more radical efficiency gains, or branch into fresh body styles, we could be watching the blueprint for how they'll dominate the market for another decade. The 2026 Model Y performance refresh is not just a mild makeover. It's Tesla sending a clear message to the competition. The sleeker, more modern design fixes past missteps, the ride is quieter and more composed, and the interior finally delivers the kind of premium feel buyers have been asking for. Add in genuine performance gains and the promise of next-gen architecture on the horizon, and you're looking at more than just an update. This is Tesla laying the groundwork to keep the Model Y at the top of the EV food chain for years to come. If you're standing at the intersection of excitement and everyday usability, the new Model Y deserves your attention. And here at Car Today Reviews, we'll keep you ahead of the curve with first drives, in-depth comparisons, and breaking Tesla news. Hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Your front row seat to the EV revolution starts here.